Hi y'all, welcome to the Messy Studio. Today, we're gonna make this from this. Okay, well, not exactly this, but something like it. For several years now, my wife's kitchen step stool that she needs to get to the upper cabinets and stuff frequently has been used to host my boxer's dog dish. And so she keeps having to take the dish down, use the stool, put the dog dish back on it. So today, she's asked me to make a replacement for the dog dish. So that's what I'm going to use the reclaimed fence board for. So let's get started. Today I've got a shop helper, my grandson Billy. Say hi, Billy.
Hi.
And of course, my shop dog. Now that I'm actually working in a shop instead of the garage, she thinks she has to be out here with me. That's the boxer I'm making the dish stand for. Say hi, Cammy. She just looks at the camera. Lazy dog. Thought I'd give you a quick shop update as well, before I get started on this. You see I moved the bandsaw and that bookshelf that is now there. It was over here, actually over there. Now it's out of the way of the lathe. I've got to put some shelving up here for miscellaneous lathe items. Drill press will stay there. It's a good place for it. My other lathe is going to stay there. I put my anti-fatigue mat down, yay. Moved the bandsaw to its permanent place of abode. I think that's a good place for it there. When I get through cleaning out the back of the shop, this rolling cart will go back there. I've started taking wood down off of here and putting shop stuff up there, tools and whatnot. I've got to build my lumber rack. That's going to go back here on the back wall. That'll be the next thing I do after this little project here. So we're making headway. Things are looking really good. Yesterday I was prepping these boards for today's project, and I burnt my planer up. Absolutely burnt up. Sparks flying out of the motor, fire flying out of the motor. You can see the black stuff there. Melted the belt and the housing, but it was a good little planer. Delta 12-inch lunchbox. Lasted me 15 years. I temporarily hooked my dust collector up. It is also connected to my cyclone, as always. And I've only got one connection, one drop running from it. Right now it's going straight to the table saw. I don't have time to run it the way I'm gonna run it. It's gonna be running up here along the ceiling, and the bags will be gone. It'll be dumping straight outside. I've collected maybe 1.5 inches of fine dust in the bottom of the bag in the last 2 years, so I don't think that's too awful bad. And it'll improve the efficiency without those bags on it, because I'm going to be running straight 6-inch ducting from where it goes out in the storeroom, and it'll be housed in the next room over, so it'll cut down on the noise as well. And it'll be plumbed 6 inches into here with 4-inch drops to all my tools. So I expect a much higher efficiency out of the tool after that. It's been really good the way it is, but I expect it to be even better. See how much help they are? But it's moral support. Now I'm going to cut the pieces to glue together for the top. Okay, got all my pieces cut. To glue up my panels. So, let me get those glued up. I'll speed it up, I'll show you. It's gluing up panels is no big deal. Well, I forgot to turn the camera on while I was gluing them up, got interrupted by the wife, and then you know how that goes. Anyway, there's the panels, glued up. Let them cure overnight. Come back in the morning, clean them up, and we'll start putting this thing together. Okay, it's the next morning. I'm taking these out of the clamps, cleaning off the glue, any of the squeeze out. I'll hit these with my, I need to hit it with my belt sander, but I gotta find it first. I hadn't found that part. I hadn't finished unpacking, but I'm getting there. And then once I get these cleaned up and somewhat flat, then I'll cut them to final size on the table saw. Line your clamps with blue painter's tape. That way you don't get glue squeezed out all over your clamps and have to clean them up later. Just a little tip. Usually coming in at a low enough angle works kind of like the low angle block plane with this chisel. Once in a while, in this reconditioned, in this reclaimed wood, it wants to bite a little harder. So you just have to be a little careful. This is meant to be rustic anyway. We like that rustic look. And it's back in style. Let the sander will clean that up. I don't know for how long it's going to be in style. I don't really care. I like it. Again, clamps with blue painter's tape. I am so unready to work in here, really. You can see I've still got stuff laying around. It is still the messy studio right now, and I don't know where half of my power tools are. I know where some of them are. I haven't found all my sanders. I haven't found, well, there's a lot of stuff I haven't found. But these have to get done, so, or this has to get done. The more of the glue that you get off, now, the less it'll eat up your sander belt, or your, yeah, less it'll eat up the belt. But I've got room to work and walk around. I love it. Now I've got to see if I can find my belt sander. I'll be back. Well, one of the few things I hadn't unpacked was my belt sander, because I couldn't find it. Took forever. Went through every box in the shop but one, and that's where I found it, of course. So, let's get to it. Now I got to cut the panels to dimension. I've got a table saw sled for this table saw, but the back fence keeps warping or moving or something. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I built it out of quarter-sawn oak. The old one that I built for my old Craftsman, my smaller table saw, it's about the same size, and I used 2x4 and it works great. It hasn't moved. I trust it, but it doesn't fit this saw, and I don't have my other saw over here. But I do trust this Craig a lot. So instead of a sled, I'm just going to use my Craig miter gauge. I had this set for my segmenting. I'll just run it back to 0. Dead solid perfect. somewhere along the way, I think I might have forgot to hit record. I've got the sides glued on and screwed on. Now I'm drilling the pilot holes for the back. Now I'm doing this on top of the table saw because I know this is solid flat and square, and this has a little bit of an angle in it, and so I'm going to use the clamps to keep this square while the glue dries. So, a little bit of final sanding. See what I can do with my belt sander. Still solid, good enough for a dog bowl. Took me longer to do it than it should have, mainly because I had a lot of interruptions. But now I got to put a couple of coats of polyacrylic on it, let it dry, and be good to go. I'll come back when the finish is done and show you the final product. Well, folks, here it is, finished product. It is not the prettiest in the world or the most spectacular, but it serves a purpose, and I think it's going to work. Now to take it in the house and see what the wife thinks. I want to apologize for the background noise. I got fans going. I was mistaken about the shop being insulated. There is an air conditioner wall unit at 220 volt. It doesn't keep it terribly cool in here. The fans do just about as good a job with both doors open. And it's been a little warm. Like 100 or better for the last week. In here, probably about the same once I open the doors and get everything moving. So, if you can, bear with the noise. I appreciate it. I'll try to talk loud enough to make this work. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. Come back and see us here in the Mesa studio. You never know what we're going to be doing. I've got lathe work coming. I just haven't had a chance. Right now I've got my next pressing project is to finish that lumber rack and get it mounted, and I'll show you all of that. So the next video is going to be me putting up the lumber rack and putting the lumber on it. Then I have to start on my wife's island. Still got to find that magazine those plans are in, but I got to get that kitchen island done. So pardon my rambling, all the interruptions, the noise of the fans. Y'all come back and see us. Thanks.